Hello everyone and welcome to our brand new channel and first ever video. Thank you for checking us out. Today we will be unboxing and having our first look at this Magik statue by Studios. As this is our first video, we don't have a full setup worked out yet, but we'll work on it as we do more videos, and we'll also take on board any feedback for improvements we can make. With that said, let's get started looking at Magik. I got this piece from Statue Depot. They're not a sponsor or affiliate of any kind, but they got her halfway across the world to us here in the UK in record time, so I would definitely recommend them. This is number 93 of an edition size of 338. This is our first piece by Studios, but they announced the next 23 last year, which I have on pre-order, and they recently announced that they also have the Godzilla license, so it's safe to say that it won't be our last statue. Right on the top of the box is a black envelope which has an art print based on the statue, and also a placement guide for where everything goes in the box. This will be useful when we have to box her back up to move. The top of the box has the Marvel logo and the Studios logo, and on the side is the X-Men logo with Magik and the comic edition underneath. Whilst I'm struggling to get the top off the box here, here's a quick look at the art print and the placement guide mentioned earlier. It's new to us, but anyone familiar with XM will probably recognise the black box and the Velcro straps holding everything together. The statue pieces are spread out across two layers within the box. The top layer contains a freestanding silver plaque. Here's a quick look at that. Also on the top layer is the two portraits, three sentinel fingers, two skulls, Magik's left arm holding her sword, two fire pieces, and Magik's spiked shoulder pad, as well as her headdress pieces. Those headdress pieces will have an extended cameo a little later on in the video. The lower layer contains the main base, Magik's main body, the larger fire pieces, and the soul sword as well. Now that she's unboxed, let's start putting her together. We don't have a turntable unfortunately, so this is the best 360-degree view we can do for now. We'll work on this for future videos though. The base is a sentinel hand with some great battle and fire damage details. The individual electrical wires at the back and on the broken fingers are a nice touch, and the green paintwork helps to offset the orange of the fire and really makes it stand out. On the left are the headdress pieces, which we didn't realise were in the shot until the entire time we were filming. The sentinel fingers all key in and have unique key shapes. They are all colour coded as well to show which one goes where, but I didn't check this first, which is how I was able to get them wrong each time. Next up is the fire effects. The first section keys straight into the base, and the first two extensions at the back will wrap around Magik's soul sword when that's added in at the end. The third and fourth fire extensions both have demonic skulls which key into them, and both have some really nice detail on them. Here's a closer look at the first skull. The front and horns are beautifully sculpted, and the back reflects the red and orange of the fire it will be attached to. The intricate details on the teeth and inside of the mouth are painted really well as well. And here's the goat skull, looking like it's come straight off a heavy metal album cover. It's a similar story here with the small details coming out really nicely. The skull's attached to the end of the fire via magnets. The magnets are very strong, so there's no danger of them falling off at any point. That's the base finish, so here's another quick look at the whole thing. The skulls really stand out against the darker colours of the sentinel hand, and I think they did a good job of conveying movement within the fire as well. I did notice some smaller seam lines where the segments connect together, but they end up being nicely hidden once the whole statue is assembled, so they're not really an issue. Magik herself is mostly a single piece. She has a peg and key on her right foot which plugs directly into the base, and there's a sculpted space for her left foot to sit in as well. There is a little bit of looseness to my copy, so you'll see her wobbling a little bit, but it's not enough for me to be worried, as she feels secure, and once she's set up in the cabinet she won't be moved again. The lower half of her left arm and sword are all one piece, with great details on both. The arm continues the armoured look which started at the shoulder on the main statue, and the sword itself has some really nice silver and red paint detailing on it. The gold along the blade creates the impression that it's reflecting the surrounding fire. The arm locks into place with a magnet, and the finishing touch for her left side is the armoured shoulder pad, which also has a magnet to hold it securely in place. Here's a closer look at the portrait I'll be displaying. The headdress pieces all just push in and have their own unique key shape, but they are quite fiddly and will fall out if knocked too much. They'll be fine once the statue is all set up and in a fixed position though. There are some really nice colour variances in the hair to give some layers, and I really like how the eyes catch the light. With the portrait in place, all that's left to add is the soul sword, which goes between some of the fire elements that were added earlier and sits in a socket within the largest fire piece in the base. There's no key or magnet in the hand that's attached to the sword. This just rests in place. And here she is fully assembled. I probably need to invest in a Lazy Susan to make doing these turns easier for the next statue that comes in. There is one switch out that's an alternative dark child portrait. The hair is mostly consistent with the other portrait with some slight variances in style, but it's the horns and empty looking eyes that stand out for me here, making her look much more demonic than the other portrait. To swap the portraits, the soul sword does need to be removed each time, but here she is fully assembled with the dark child portrait. I've mentioned the soul sword a few times, so here's a closer look at that. Its look is accurate to the recent comics. The hand is completely loose around the hilt, which helps with placing it on the arm once the sword itself has been placed properly. There's orange detailing which gets darker the further down the sword that you go, like it's reflecting the fire that surrounds it. To finish off, here are some more close-ups of some of the details. Overall, this piece is awesome. I've been a fan of Magik for a while, and I think the statue captures everything about her. The design and engineering to get the skulls flying out and the fire wrapped around the soul sword is great, and the paint applications are brilliant throughout to bring out all of the details. The slight difference in colouring on her costume helps the various textures stand out as well, and the orange paint applications throughout really helps the fire pop when you look at it. And that's it, our first review. Let us know what you think in the comments below and share your thoughts on Magik as well. I should have a custom X23 statue shipping this month, and the first Iron Studios Sentinel diorama is due to be released shortly too, so those will be our next new statue videos. Hit subscribe to see when those reviews come out, and until then we'll be doing videos on other things we love from our collections, from action figures and vinyls to other statues that we already have. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.